You're a California business owner operator. You walk into the office today and get hit with a stack of work comp lawsuits filed by several of your employees. You're blindsided. How did that happen? What do you do about it? What could you have done to avoid this from happening? What happened out there on the street that led to those suits being filed? Hi, I'm Tina, a subject matter expert on organized crimes and commercial insurance. Fraud syndicates, fraud schemes, fraudcraft. If you're a business operating in California, I want this podcast to help you. In upcoming episodes, subject matter experts are going to talk about what fraudsters don't want you to know or do. And I want you to know that most of your fraud security rests in your own hands. I want you to understand fraudcraft, the tradecraft employed by fraud syndicates, the organized criminal fraud networks. I've spent years talking directly to fraudsters who have told me that companies do certain things that provide fertile ground for their predatory tactics in stealing your employees and filing costly work comp claims. I've spent years talking to employees who revealed to me how they fell prey to these fraud syndicates. Imagine you're a company that has done everything you can to protect your bottom line, boost your profits, future revenue growth. You even steer financial resources to risk control measures to make sure you provide a safe workplace for your employees. But what are you doing about fraud security? If you're an owner-operator of a business and you don't know or understand fraud syndicates, how do you expect your employees to know and steer clear from them? How are you protecting your workforce and your workplace from autonomous and fraud syndicate-driven fraud claims? Do you even know the difference? There are cappers who wake up every day figuring out ways to steal all of your employees from you. Did you leave the door open to your business, inviting them to come in? Whether you're an extremely large company with thousands of employees or a small shop of just a few, the total effect is the same. Fraud syndicates can wipe you out. They're magical. They can take a minor injury or no injury at all and make something out of nothing when they're done. They've learned to capitalize around $75,000 off of each employee. What would you do if I told you that you have more power in your hands than you think to reduce fraud claims? As a business leader, you need to be able to identify whether a suspect fraud claim is driven by the employee, which I call autonomous fraud, or driven by a fraud syndicate, which is kicked off by capping and kickback organized criminal groups. What's missing in the industry is true workplace fraud security from real-time fraud intelligence, passed down to business leaders, middle line supervision, and its labor force. Actual real-time experience with fraudsters and stories from the streets, from inside of these fraud networks, from the fraudsters' own words, and from the stories of employees who were preyed into these schemes. What's also missing is the commingling of risk control and fraud control, sharing the message that you want to keep your employees safe and out of trouble. That fraud claim is usually retroactive evidence of lack of fraud security. Owners and operators need to be armed with true intelligence focused on creating a fraud-sterile environment. Information, education, interaction, transparency all play a vital role in fraud security. Your managers and supervisors must be on board to dynamically relate this environment. They need to take certain very simple actions that will help prevent employees from deciding on their own to file a fraud claim or from falling into the grasp of fraud syndicates. If you don't provide support to your employees, fraud syndicates are more than happy to. Employees need to be informed, need to know what is a work-related injury, what is not a work-related injury, what to do when injured. That all along the way, it's simple. Just tell the truth. I'm looking forward to helping our businesses avoid fraudsters. Stay tuned for future episodes. Subscribe, hit like, follow our community. DM me if you'd like to share your knowledge, be a guest to help others. Join us, be the solution to it all, and let's have some fun. And remember, it's cool to be kind. Monies earned by this podcast will be donated to the Joshua Tree No-Kill Animal Shelter and Stray Cat Alliance. Thank you very much.